Yeah, I was about to. Here, let me see. Okay, you guys tell me if you
Okay,
can
now
hear.
it's working.
You can hear me
It's
now,
working.
right? That's a damn shame. That's a damn
Yeah.
shame. Hey man, well you gotta call in and save the day like that whenever something like that happen, Q. Yeah, man. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and do this over. Let's do it. We ain't gonna be doing it long
Right.
though, but
Okay, so I know you said you're not gonna be long, so I go ahead and ask my question right away. Because I didn't hear anything you said until I called in and was on mute to know what you and Kurt was even talking about.
uh-huh.
So I don't know what the show was about
That's
25
crazy.
minutes prior.
That is
But
so crazy. Go ahead.
honestly, yeah, honestly, I thought the fight went on the Pacquiao and Braun fight went exactly like I thought it was. At this point, there's it's not a issue with it as far as with trainers. I do think that Kevin Cunningham should have told him, "Hey, let your hands go," because every time they showed it, no one ever said that, "Hey, you're losing this fight." So I don't know what they were seeing, or they just didn't show it, but no one ever said he was losing the fight because it was pretty obvious that he wasn't letting his hands go, and he's had this issue since the Maidana fight. So I think it's something about where, hey, he doesn't let his hands go until the late rounds, and that's similar to what Bundu Jack does. Like, but usually Bundu Jack waits, and then the sixth round or so he picks it up and he comes back in the fight, which, as we see now, is something that he should try not to do just because of things like headbutts and that can go wrong. Because I thought he would win the fight. I didn't think Brown, because Brown has been pretty inconsistent from when I've seen him fight. So I thought Brandon Jack was actually going to win it. Um, Also, I think, in my personal opinion, I think Pacquiao was a shell of himself. You saw it, even though he had a cold. I really do think that, in all, he fights next. I think probably be Keith Thurman. That he'll probably fight next, or Sean Porter. If I had to take a guess, if he was gonna fight anyone in the champions, I definitely know he's not gonna fight Crawford, and he's definitely not gonna fight Earl Spence. So if I had to take a guess, it would probably be Porter because he has sparring experience with him, or it would have to be Keith Thurman just because of the whole WBA thing.
Yeah, man, that's something else. Yeah, and you know what? Right now, I want to go back to what we were talking about before, just since nobody heard it. I had said at the beginning, Gary Russell Jr. He had said a long time ago. Gary Russell Jr. He said a long time ago that when he was in the amateurs and when he used to watch Adrian Broner fight, while he would be getting first place, your boy AB would always be a runner-up. He would never really get first place. So if you really think about it, unfortunately, that's always been AB's. That's always been his motto. I mean, he's always been a runner-up. He's always fallen short when he stepped up in competition. So it's we got to stop saying that this is just he needs to be focused and all that kind of stuff, because this is something that he's been doing since the amateurs. He's been falling short. I mean, he looked good. There were flashes where he looked good in this fight. He looked really good, for a couple rounds. You could tell he was studying that Floyd Mayweather fight. His check hook was landing. His right hand was accurate. But soon as he got caught and he got hurt in the second half, it looked like he lost confidence, because then there were times where he would throw punches that wouldn't even come close to landing anymore. There were rounds where I thought he was still thinking about him getting hurt by Manny Pacquiao. He didn't want to get knocked out, and that's how he started to kind of fight in the second half. He kind of started to fight like he just wanted to survive, So yeah, man, and that's the reason why I say right now he's an official gatekeeper. He's an official gatekeeper, unfortunately. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what it is. But I think I know why. I just got a message from. Let me see. So, hey, is the live is up right now though, right?
Yes, it's the line is up and the chat's up. Like I said, all of us was in the live chat, like saying like no sound, no audio, no sound. Like, hey, fix the sound.
That's so crazy.
And that's probably been
that.
So we will see you, but I mean, I guess I'm like, everybody's like, hey, why he's not looking at the chat and saying, hey, I'm fixing it, and then that explains why you couldn't see the chat. So it wasn't until I called, like, hey, I'm away, and that's when I heard the chat, actually.
Yeah, no, it's all good, but I just gotta, I don't know what's going on. There's some crazy stuff going on right now. I just got a message from YouTube saying the video was removed. This is saying that this video was removed, and said, let me see, upon review, determined that yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on right now.
You've not done one live in a minute. I personally think Deontay Wilder needs to go ahead and find some other trainers to work with. Not leave his trainer, but just get some other trainers just to help him out, just to get him, you know, in the more technical. The power's there, the heart is there, but I didn't really see in that fight the trainers actually give him any good adjustments to make. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think I know a lot of people say, you know, when fighters lose or they don't look good, they need a new trainer. But I don't, to be honest, man, I think when someone has been boxing as long as Deontay Wilder, I really don't think he's going to make that many changes. I mean, when he fought against Tyson Fury, you know, Deontay Wilder, he admitted that his trainer was telling him to throw the hooks, go to the body, do these things, and he said he just wasn't doing it. So he had somebody telling him what he needed to do, but according to Deontay Wilder, he just wasn't doing it. So I just think Deontay Wilder, he's always going to be right hand heavy because he knows that, you know, that right hand will always end a fight if he lands clean. And to be honest, yeah, no matter who he works with, I think we're going to see the same Deontay Wilder. I mean, you got to remember when he fought against Bermane Stiverne, he looked great. You know, when he fought against, you know, a couple other fighters, he looked great. But whenever he fights against a boxer, you know, he usually has problems, but he usually makes up for it with his right hand and his willpower. That's always been Deontay. And even Deontay will say it. He said, I'm going to beat you with my will. I'm going to beat you with my will and my heart and my determination. That's what, you know, that makes up for any flaws that Deontay Wilder has. But that only works for so long, because eventually, you know, if your right hand don't land in 12 rounds, you risk losing a fight like that Tyson Fury fight. So now I don't think that I don't think a trainer is going to make that much of a difference. I really don't. But we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. So
well, and to add to your point, I mean, as he said in the interviews, he was really tight and he was trying to force the knockout so much that when he's trying to force the knockout, he's not doing the things from a fundamental standpoint that he needs to do to, you know, actually get the knockout. You know, he's not getting the round and he's not doing the certain things. So the good thing for Deontay is he actually acknowledged that. So in the rematch, I think he's going to be looser and he'll have more experience having gone against Tyson Fury's style in the previous fight. So I think, you know, he'll do better, he'll perform better, but also in the same token, there isn't anyone I could think of who looks good against Tyson Fury. I mean, he's that, you know, he's very awkward and unorthodox and has a great style. He's going to make anyone look bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. He made, like you said, he made Klitschko look bad, and yeah, he'll make anybody look bad. I mean, you know, he's almost 7 foot tall. He knows how to box very well. He has good foot movement. You know, you wouldn't think somebody that tall and big knows how to box that well, but he does. You know, so because of that, I definitely see him giving problems to Deontay Wilder again. What Deontay Wilder, I think, is going to need to do is he has to disguise the right hand, because that's the only reason why, you know, that fight was easy for Tyson Fury, is because Tyson had already focused on not getting hit with the right hand. He was like, as long as I don't get hit with the right hand. So if a person is only focused on not getting hit by the right hand, that means he's open for other punches. He's not expecting, you know, check hooks and lead hooks and shots to the body, and then you could set up the right hand. So that's what Deontay Wilder would have to start doing. He would have to disguise the right hand. You know, see, unlike someone like a Errol Spence, who, you know, he's a southpaw, so you would think his left hand is his best punch. But when it comes to Errol Spence, his left hand is not his best punch. Almost every punch he throws is his best punch. So Deontay Wilder has to be more well-rounded He really needs to go to the body. He really needs to go to the body. I think he needs to start cutting off the ring, going to the body when it comes to Tyson Fury. And that will open up a lot more punches. But just trying to put all your, eggs in one basket for that right hand, that's making it extremely easy for Tyson Fury. So that's pretty much how I see it, man. But hey, man, but thanks for calling in, family. I'll catch up with you on the next one, all right, Q? And thanks for letting me know what's going on in the chat section. All right, man. Take care.
No worries, bro.
All
Enjoy
right.
Thailand.
All right. So guys, that was pretty crazy. So if you guys are just tuning in, we was talking for about 20 minutes, and because I don't know why, but because the chat section got disconnected. I don't know why. I got a message. So so people were trying to tell me that there was no audio, but because the chat room wasn't working, the chat section wasn't working, we weren't getting any messages until my man Q just called in and he explained to me. So that's pretty wild right there, man. But anyway, we'll take another call, man, and I'm gonna have to get up out of here. I need to see what's going on with this, because like I said, YouTube sent me a message, said that there was some violation for this video. They said it was a community violation for this video when we wasn't even talking. There was no audio. So I don't know what's going on right now, man. That probably explains why the chat room is disconnected right now. YouTube might have disconnected it. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna have to take care of that. But I'll take another call before we get out of here. Okay, we got 562. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, Dante, it's Luis. I'm calling from Paramount City, right here in California.
You said from what city?
Paramount.
Paramount. Oh, okay. You across the street from Long Beach. What's going on, man? What's good with you?
Yeah, right here next to the 105 and the 710, right here.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. What's good with you?
How much, Dante? I just want to give a little recap on that video you put up on Jermall Charlo.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
First of all, Dante, huge respect for what you do. I love the channel. Keep it up, man. So I appreciate the channel, first of all.
All good. It's all boxing talk. It's all boxing talk, man. It don't matter if you agree or disagree.
Exactly,
it's just boxing talk.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly. So I know you were talking about the Jermall Charlo, of course, his review against his last fight. Of course, there's a lot of controversy going on about how he did, probably he was robbed, probably not. I think he did enough to win the fight, but I think, and one of the things that I thought you didn't talk about in that video was the judge that scored it 119 to 108. What are your thoughts on that, first of all?
Well, yeah, I think that was a stretch. I think obviously it was way closer than that. But this is my thing though. This is the bigger picture to me, and this is what we were talking about, what you guys didn't hear because we had no audio. We actually talked about this but I guess it was only me and Kirk that heard it. But going back to what I said about 20 minutes ago, see, this is the thing. What I don't understand is, why do people feel that if Charlo looked bad, that all of a sudden I'm upset and I've been overhyping him and now I'm mad. I don't want to make videos anymore because Charlo, he looked this way. But the thing is, like you said, he got the decision. I mean, like I said, yeah, the one judge, yeah, no doubt about it. The judge, he did have it too far, for Jermall Charlo. The fight was extremely close. It could have went either way. It wasn't a robbery. It could have went either way. But my thing is, if I'm rooting for Charlo, or if I want to see Charlo fight against other fighters like Golovkin, Canelo, I'm happy that he's still undefeated. He's still in position to fight against Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Or fight against Gennady Golovkin. Yeah. And like I said before, styles make fights. I don't believe that, when people say that Charlo was exposed, you get in there with one crafty fighter, that doesn't mean you were exposed. If you get in there with someone that has been, that every other undefeated was just annihilating and beating easy, you know what I'm saying? And then you struggle with this guy, you're the only one that struggles with him, and then we see a consistent base where you're fighting against, you know, lower tier opponents and you're struggling against them, then you could say, okay, that guy was, you know, he's been exposed. You know, he's overrated and et cetera, et cetera. But that's not the case with Jermall Charlo. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we don't know how Golovkin or Canelo Alvarez would even look in the ring with a Matt Karpov or Danny Jacobs, you know, or anyone else, you know. So that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. I don't see, and just for the, go ahead.
No, yeah. I think definitely. I mean, of course, it wasn't an easy match at all. Like Karpov, like he gave it his all. But I think I couldn't help to compare how you did Kell Brook against Golovkin. I think you were really saying about how Golovkin got exposed. If he couldn't even beat Kell Brook, how is he going to do against Canelo? So I think you were a little bit more sensitive when Golovkin faced against Kell Brook.
Okay,
now we were throwing the exposed.
I'm glad
more than you were doing with Jermall fight.
Okay, I'm glad
you get what I'm going?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, and I'm glad you brought that up. So once again, when I answer this question and I say it to you, everyone they hear, so it's like I'm talking to everybody at the same time. Listen, first of all, you're comparing Kell Brook, who's moving up 2 weight classes. You cannot compare a welterweight moving up 2 weight classes to fight Golovkin to a middleweight fighting against a middleweight. If you're going to make the comparison, it has to be the exact same comparison. If it has to be the same situation, it has to be the same scenario where a welterweight, in this case, moved up to fight a middleweight, and in the other fight, it's the same. Now, when it comes to Gennady Golovkin is the complete opposite of Charlo, because while Charlo is calling out all of the best middleweights, Golovkin is the opposite. Golovkin is avoiding the best fighters. Like right now, once again, Sergey Derevyanchenko was his mandatory. He didn't fight him. He gave up his belt. While Danny Jacobs actually fought against Sergey Derevyanchenko. So we know if Danny was in that situation, he wouldn't have gave up his belt. We know that if Jermall Charlo, since you just compared Golovkin to Charlo, we know that if Jermall Charlo was in Golovkin's situation and Sergey Derevyanchenko was his mandatory, we know that Charlo would have took the fight. We know he wouldn't have gave up his belt. So it's the complete opposite when you try to make that comparison. You see what I'm saying? Are you there? Hello? Hold on, let me make sure. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure I didn't lose. Hey, Kirk, you there? Oh, hold on 1 second. Hey, hold on, guys. Hold on. I don't know if they hung up or if I lost them. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me see if my line is still up. Yeah, and I hate when that happens. Right in the middle of a good conversation, we get disconnected. Hold on, y'all. No, we still up. We still up. What happened? Okay, we still connected. I'm still connected. What happened here? Hello? Hold on, y'all. I don't know why I'm not hearing. Mic check. Hello? I don't know what happened with the phone lines, guys. What the hell is going on here? Right when we was having a good conversation, y'all. They're still on. They're still on right now, but I'm not hearing anybody. Hey, guys, hold on for 1 second. Man, we having all kind of technical issues today. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me see what's going on with the phone lines. Hey, can you guys hear me? Yeah, you can hear me now. Oh, okay, hold on. I don't know what happened. Hold on for a second. Okay, I think we got him back online. I don't know what happened, but anyway, you guys are back online, right?
Hello.
Okay,
yeah.
you guys can hear me. Here. Okay, hey, so did you hear?
Yeah.
Did you hear everything that I said? Were you hearing me when I was talking?
Yeah. I got everything. Let's see. Oh, I guess my response to that, I guess, was that it was a business decision at the same time that Golovkin actually had the opportunity to go against Canelo and of weighing your costs. I guess it was more of a giving up his belt and facing against the rematch against Canelo.
Okay, but
instead of taking his mandatory.
But
at the same time, I believe that your criticism is valid. I think the fight he had, I think it was I don't think it was a fight at all.
Thank you.
Like completely at all. I think he should have taken mandatory. I think you're absolutely right. And a lot of people don't tend to see that because even in the Mexican community, a lot of people lost respect for Canelo when he gave up his WC belt. And I think in a way it was kind of the same thing for Golovkin, even though a lot of people kind of took the blind side to it. Like, you know what? Whatever. If we can get the Canelo fight, I think I'll pass it. Because you don't want to risk it. Of course, it was a really risky fight. But of course, he took a safe fight. So I guess he was just like trying to play it safe so he can be fully prepared against Canelo. So I think your criticism is completely valid, without a doubt.
And I'm glad you were honest.
I got a question though.
Go ahead.
And I got a question though. So at the time when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, wasn't he previously in negotiations to fight Chris Eubanks?
Yeah, he was.
And then Kell Brook was in negotiation to fight Jesse Vargas, but for whatever reason they decided to fight each other. Right?
And like I said, once again, I mean, when it comes to Gennady Golovkin, I want to reiterate one more time, even though my man said that what I said was valid, but I want to reiterate once again, Gennady Golovkin, he was doing the opposite. He was doing the complete opposite of what fighters like Jermall Charlo, Danny Jacobs, what they would have did in the same situation. And that's the reason why Golovkin is always going to get criticized. The problem with Gennady Golovkin is, once again, his biggest wins are all controversial wins. His biggest knockout wins against fighters like David Lemieux. His biggest win would be, who would you say, Danny Jacobs or Canelo? But both of them fights, they ended in controversy. So, now he's in a position, because now since Canelo is fighting against Danny Jacobs, it makes all the sense in the world for Golovkin to go after either Demetrius Andrade or Charlo, because he could get one of his belts back if he goes up against Andrade. Andrade has a belt, or or Charlo, he could beat Charlo if people believe that Charlo is overrated and is a flawed fighter. So once again, that's the reason why we can't really compare what Golovkin is doing to what a Jermall Charlo or a Danny Jacobs is doing. But anything else on your mind, man, before I let you go?
I think the last thing, Dante, thank you for bringing up your points. I think you're giving, on your last video, of course, the one that we were talking about, Jermall, I think you're giving a lot of without a doubt, of course, there are racist Mexican people. I think you're giving them too much of a platform. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I think they absolutely exist, Dante. But I don't think you should be giving them much of a platform of like, oh, these guys keep saying this. They don't want Canelo to lose against a black fighter. I don't doubt, Dante, that people literally say that. I don't doubt it at all. But I think you're giving them a platform to keep commenting on your videos.
But
Trust me, there's a lot of Mexican communities that like Charlo, that like Danny Jacobs, especially right now, dude. Like, a lot of people are giving massive respect to Danny Jacobs because of his backstory and everything. So when you say that people don't want Canelo to lose to a black fighter, I don't doubt that there's people saying that, but I think you're giving that too much attention. Like, if you go through your comments, like, the first one is like, Dante, you're putting words in a lot of people's mouths. Like, there's people that are saying that, but it's not the big community. I don't think it's a big community that
Well,
I think you're painting a big brush on the Mexican community.
Well, you have to understand, and I understand your frustration, because with you being Mexican, obviously, if I'm talking about racist Mexicans, you're automatically going to feel that, you know, you're being targeted. And this is why it's a tough situation, because like I always say, I want to separate the non-racist Mexicans from the racist ones. Now, what you guys don't understand is I get thousands and thousands of messages, racist messages, and the majority of them, I'm being honest, the majority of them come from Mexican fans. But you guys don't see a lot of the messages because I have my YouTube filtered to where, you know, a lot of that stuff is blocked out.
Yeah, definitely. I don't doubt it.
But this is my thing though, bro. You have to understand from my perspective, if I'm black and I'm seeing all of these what I would consider distractions of, you know, we supposed to be making this about boxing, and when you have so many people making this about race, if I'm telling you guys, if I'm educating people and I'm showing people this is what's going on, and I'm shining the light, and like you said, giving them a platform, what I'm really doing is I'm shaming the devil, and I'm making them uncomfortable. So when you make anyone uncomfortable, it makes them think more about what they do when they do it, because now they realize that a light is shined on them. Now they realize, oh, now people are paying attention. Before, it's actually the contrary if you think about it. If people are posting, constantly putting racist stuff out, and nobody is saying anything about it, they get more and more comfortable with being racist, because they start to feel it's being normalized. They start to feel ain't nobody saying it. Everyone feels the same way I feel, so they feel more comfortable. To be honest with you, since I've been addressing this racist stuff, I've been getting a lot more Mexican fans saying, you know, we need to all work together and you know, fuck this, you know, this black and brown stuff, et cetera, et cetera. We need to be unified. I've been getting more of that since I've been exposing it, because once again, you cannot let people be comfortable with being a racist. You have to expose it. Every person, for example, when it comes to Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to Donald Trump being a racist, Mexicans, Muslims, and black people, all kind of people went out. They protest against Donald Trump being a racist. You know, that's what people do. You know, a closed mouth never gets fed. There is no person that has made history by trying to ignore a problem. You know what I'm saying? Resistance and suppression is the only way, you know, you're going to make some type of change. So, I mean,
definitely.
What I want is, like how you say you think, you know, we shouldn't address this. Honestly, I'm going to tell you what will make this better. If people like yourself, you know, they will listen to you more than they will listen to me. If you were to say to like the racist Mexican fans that post messages, if you were to say to them, hey man, y'all need to stop with this. Why are y'all playing a race card? Stop making this about race and, you know, whatever. All you're doing is making yourself look bad. If more people would put pressure on them, like they put pressure on the people that report the racism, once again, that would make them uncomfortable, because you have to remember, these racist people, they feel this is normal. They feel, hey, you know, all of us think this way. That's why nobody ever says anything to me. That's why no one ever complains, because, you know, deep down, we all feel this way. But if they start getting some resistance, from their own people, then they're going to feel uncomfortable. You feel what I'm saying? So
definitely, yeah.
So that's what we got to do, man. Yeah, we can't. I
get you, Dante. I get you.
Yeah, man. Hey, but like I said, but these are kind of conversations.
Definitely, brother. But
what's up?
well, yeah. Just to wrap it up, brother. Once again, appreciate what you do. And right now, with the Canelo-Jacobs against Canelo, I'm glad that fight got made, man.
Oh, no doubt.
Right now, the Mexican community right now is like they're not the most like educated in boxing, but once with this fight, I think the actual good community right now that actually follows the boxing community, like literally, we're excited for this fight, because we want to see Canelo challenge. We want to see Canelo get the most competitive fight. Yeah. His last fight that with Rocky Fielding, it was a joke, and a lot of Mexicans see it through it. So the fact that he got this fight, it surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. So moving forward, like I've had a love-hate relationship with Canelo, but the fact that he took this fight, I think my respect to Canelo. I want to see what's going on. I think he's a very talented fighter, and without a doubt, I don't want politics or the business to get into it. I literally want him to fight the best and to see what happens, because that's the beauty of boxing. But my last thought, just to get it out, I think they're trying to put a limit on the weight that you wake up on the day of the fight. I think they're trying not to make it over 170, or I think you're going to get fined. Do you think there's any thoughts about that you have? Probably they're trying to restrict Danny Jacobs to have him like 10 pounds above.
Yeah, a rehydration clause.
Actually, I think I think. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if they were to institute that rule, I think that actually works in favor of Danny Jacobs, because Canelo's, I think he's the heavier person naturally.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Danny Jacobs is literally, I think he's a heavy middleweight hiding in the middleweight division. But
you know how big Canelo walks around at? You know how big he walks around at?
Don't get me wrong. Canelo's big too. Without a doubt. Like, I think the Golovkin fight was a perfect example. Like, how many pounds was he over against Golovkin on the day of the fight?
It was about. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this about the Canelo thing. About the first Canelo Golovkin fight, I was hearing from different people that Canelo didn't even make 160, but they put the fight on anyways, just because, you know, that's the fight that everyone wanted to see, and Golovkin was just happy to get him in the ring. Yeah, so, I mean, I think there's a reason as to why he was. I mean, this opens up a whole other bag, but the whole Combuterol thing, like, I don't think that was just something that was accidental. I mean, I think he's had trouble over the course of his professional career, just managing weight and getting down. Yeah. Like, and that's something also, just even before you brought this up, I thought that it'd be kind of difficult for Canelo to get back at 160 to fight Danny Jacobs. I think that'd be something working in Jacobs' favor. But I don't know. I just feel like Canelo's he carries more weight than Jacobs does. But I mean, I could be wrong. And
you got to also think about the fact that Canelo, why was it so easy for Canelo to just go up to 168 and fight over there? You know what I'm saying? If you would think Danny Jacobs would have did that before Canelo would do it. Canelo is shorter than Danny Jacobs, and he goes up to 168 with no problem. That's because he does balloon up. I had already talked about this on a show before. Canelo used to come out here to Las Vegas, or he used to come out to Las Vegas a couple years, way before he became a star. And he used to walk around at about 200 pounds. This is what my buddy who owned the gym out here, he said, yeah, man, Canelo used to come over here. He used to be about 200 pounds. He said, because he didn't know who Canelo was at the time. And when Canelo told him he fights at 154, he was like, what? You know, because he would walk around at like 190, 200 pounds. So there's no doubt about it. Yeah, he blows up too. But I don't think that nobody's gonna really have an advantage, I don't think, when it comes to ballooning up. And I kind of agree that I mean, this works for both fighters. I don't, and even with Gennady Golovkin, when it comes to Gennady Golovkin, you have to understand, Golovkin fighting against Danny Jacobs, even if Jacobs was 10 pounds heavier than Gennady Golovkin, you got to remember, Floyd Mayweather, he always fights guys 15, 20 pounds bigger than him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's something that somebody like Golovkin, who has never moved up in weight, he's been comfortable fighting in his own weight class ever since he's been a pro. That should not be a problem for him to fight somebody for the first time who's 10 pounds bigger than him, even 15 pounds bigger than him. So,
but I don't think Mayweather goes for the knockout.
It doesn't matter if you go, well, listen. First of all, this is something you got to understand, bro. When you fighting, Floyd Mayweather, for example, when he's trying to knock you out, it's not trying to knock somebody out is not just about throwing haymakers. It's about catching someone with a shot that they don't see. When you catch someone with a shot they don't see, that's how you knock them out. So when Floyd Mayweather was fighting against Canelo Alvarez, he was going for the knockout. He was backing Canelo up. When Floyd Mayweather fought against Cotto, he was going for the knockout. And something else, and I don't want to get the message misconstrued when I say going for the knockout, because whenever you hear a boxer talk, what do they usually say? They usually say, I don't go for the knockout. If it happens, it happens. Floyd Mayweather Sr., he said, the quickest way to get knocked out is to look for a knockout. That's what he said. You know what I mean? So the knockouts, they usually happen. But Floyd Mayweather, you got to remember this too. When you move up 5 weight classes, of course you're not going to throw caution to the wind. The more weight classes you move up, the more cautious you have to be. You can't make as many mistakes. Exactly. It's like when Gennady Golovkin, when he fought against David Lemieux, you can say he wasn't looking for the knockout. He fought safe. He fought safety first. He really just relied on his jab. But because he's so powerful,
yeah, he respected his power.
Yeah, because he's still so powerful, and David Lemieux is a C-level fighter, and David Lemieux doesn't have that much of a defense. Eventually, the knockout, it came. So yeah, so it's not. I could guarantee you, if any of these fighters moved up 5 weight classes and they were fighting against guys 15, 20 pounds bigger than them, all of them will be fighting the same way Golovkin fought against David Lemieux, and Floyd Mayweather fights against all these bigger guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, food for thought on that one. But yeah, but anyway,
gotcha, Dante.
Hey man, but good conversation, man. I'm calling anytime. All right, family.
Appreciate it, Dante. Last thing, what do you think is gonna? What are your predictions? Knockout or go into the cards for the fight?
Which one? Jacobs Canelo?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a tough one, man. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've already said it before. If I'm forced to do a prediction, I actually pick Canelo to win that fight. I think that if Danny Jacobs, and the reason why is because I feel if the fight is close, you know, and this is not to say Canelo can't just win the fight with skill, because he can possibly, but yeah, even if Danny Jacobs were to win 9 rounds to 3. Or let's say more 8 rounds to 4 or 7, especially 7 rounds to 5. If he clearly won 7 rounds to 5, they're going to give the fight to Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? So
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, so if the fight is close, Canelo gets the fight. You know, so Canelo has 2 different ways of winning the fight, or 3 different ways. He could either get a knockout, or he could outbox Jacobs, or he could lose a close decision and he still gets the fight. So
but you do think Canelo has the power to knock out Jacobs?
Oh yeah, I think almost everyone has the power, because once again, it's not always just the power. It's if you get caught with a shot you don't see, it doesn't have to have a lot of power on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, no doubt about it. Canelo definitely can knock out Danny Jacobs, and Danny Jacobs has been knocked out before. Just like Danny Jacobs can
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, just like Danny Jacobs, he can knock out Canelo, and Canelo's never been knocked out before. You know, something else we have to remember is a lot of people that have never been knocked out got knocked out eventually. You know what I mean? So yeah, anybody can get knocked out in a fight, but I don't think Canelo will knock out Danny Jacobs. It's possible. I think this fight will most likely go 12 rounds. Now I know Danny Jacobs, he understands that if the fight is close, that definitely they're going to give it to Canelo Alvarez. He did say in an interview that we did with him after the Broner fight, he said, I'm going to have to take it out of the judge's hands. So
exactly. I think he said that after the interview, after the the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So with him saying that, that leads me to believe that he's definitely going for the knockout. He's definitely going to try to knock him out.
Definitely.
So, but we'll have to see. But anyway, man, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna let you go, man. Yeah, hit me back when we do the next show, okay, fam?
Got you, Dante.
All right, man. Good talk, man. Talk to you later, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right. Hey, Kirk. Yeah, man. I think I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. I think YouTube they took this video down, and that's the reason why everything is frozen. The chat is not working, and the number of watchers has remained the same. It's been frozen. So I think they took this video down, but because it's live, it's probably hard for it to be taken down completely. So I'm about to see. I just got a message from YouTube saying that this video has been restricted. It violated community guidelines, and it was flagged. It was flagged by YouTube. So I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and respond to this real quick, and then we'll try to, we may go ahead and do another show tomorrow to make up for this one. So anyway, hey, well, yeah, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go, Kirk. I'm gonna try to take care of this, and I'll catch up with you later on. All right, fam.
All right, my man. You take it easy.
All right, thanks, man. And once again, man, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Like I said, man, we done had some serious issues, some technical difficulty issues. So I'm gonna have to fix what's going on over here. Hopefully we'll be back up and running tomorrow. So yeah, man, I'll catch up with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. For the ones that got to watch it, you know what it is all day. It's the nation, baby. Hashtag new media. Hashtag DCN, Dante's Cooking Nation. We'll catch up with y'all later on. I'm on to the next one. Yep.